Top 10 Reasons Donald Trump Could Win the 2016 Presidential Election. As much as it scares people around the world, Donald Trump could be President Trump, so the people might as well start practicing the words because they are going to be saying them for the next 5 years. President Trump. Sorry to be bearers of the bad news, by the way, but we have plenty of strong reasons in favor of our prediction. We speculate that this wretched, ignorant and self-centered person who makes sarcastically hilarious comments could win the presidential election. The depressed Sanders vote. Many people, we repeat, many, wanted to vote for Sanders, but when he lost to Hillary, they would prefer Donald Trump over the woman. It could be male chauvinism, fundamentalism, or whatever you may call it. Fact is that many of the voters shifted to Trump after Sanders lost the nomination. Active voters. Hillary might have appeared to be heavy on this juggernaut, but Hillary's supporters would probably end up voting for her if they could do so from their Xbox or couch at home. That is the real problem. Turnout is barely 50% in every presidential election. Crazed, kick-ass election supporters who can get up at 5 a.m. in the morning are unfortunately in Trump's court. Minority voters, black voters. People say that since he is so against the blacks and minorities he won't win. Well, to be honest, minorities are poor and they come from poorer states. They have to stand all day in line to cast a vote that a prodigious amount of effort is being put into not to let them. So how many of these deprived and poor blacks will actually be able to cast their vote? The 4 Rust Belt states. 4 states in USA have a tendency towards voting for Republicans more than voting for Democrats. They have been ignored by Democrats in the past and are just made up of those angry middle-class people that constitute most of Middle England. Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Ohio and Michigan. These are poor states with less employment, which Trump believes is because of industry shifting to China. Trump's stance on manufacturing. He has repeatedly caught Hillary on her support to the NAFTA and has badgered the ideology behind the Democrat support for TPP. When Ford indicated closure and shifting to Mexico, Trump threatened them with 35% tariff upon bringing cars back to America. A similar point was made to Apple Inc. in Michigan, calling a pullback from China and starting manufacturing in the USA. We should mention here that Trump's own garment business makes those pretty shirts in China, but what he says is sweet music to ears of employees. Therefore, he gets credit for what should have been the points of John Kasich. Feminism. The Americans have had 10 years of a black president and they wouldn't want a female ruling them for the next 5. The calls for gender equality by Nixon deeply endangered the white male, and thus, this endangered species will go to any lengths in order to make the world know that women bleeds through the eyes or wherever she bleeds. And this kind of equality will soon bring transgenders to the parliament and gays to the White House. They need to stop this here, right? Yes, that is the Trump idea and voters will grab on it. The Hillary problem. It is sad that Hillary has had an unfair share of things that she probably doesn't deserve, but her vote for the Iraq war made many people think that she is a proto-fascist. A hawk that would find some reason for some kind of military action. Hillary is hugely unpopular and nearly 70% of the voters don't find her trustworthy because one moment she would vote against legalization of gay marriage but the next moment she will officiate one. The youth does not like Hillary. Although Hillary and the older women fought a battle for the young ones today, so they could find themselves flying planes instead of baking cookies at home, young females are her biggest detractors. No independent Democrat is waking up on the 8th of November to vote for Hillary Clinton. Those that would spoil the holiday will do it for Trump. Hillary is killing the youth vote and needs something to put the energy back in. Voters who are depressed about Sanders will not vote for Trump but do not like Hillary either. Throwback to Jesse Ventura. People are going to vote for Trump as a practical joke on the sick political system. Just like they elected an actor as governor and a wrestler as governor in the 90s. This is most likely to happen in Minnesota, but other states would do it. just to disturb the apple cart balance, just to make mommy and daddy mad, and just to experiment, you know, to see what happens if Trump becomes president. The terrorism and immigration stance. Let's admit it to ourselves that terrorism within the U.S. has escalated over the past few quarters. Though it is nothing as compared to the crises in other terrorist-inflicted areas, yet Trump has a good reason to embark since everyone does care for dear life. Nobody wants to regret not keeping those terrorist immigrants out. From what we have researched, the American-born and bred Muslims are more vulnerable to terrorist organizations because of stark differences in native culture and religiously inflicted culture.